Oh, hello there. You've caught me munching. Clearly, munching and sipping are important to survival, and sometimes beyond that, just to feed gluttony. But the important thing is to know how to eat. By that, I don't just mean chomp, 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 but to actually use the cutlery efficiently and correctly. This is a quick session on table etiquette. And notice I say etiquette, not etiquettes. You can either say table manners with an S or table etiquette without the S. Basically, we shall chat about appropriate behavior when eating. So let us begin with a standard table setup that you would see at a house dinner party or at a restaurant. The layout. Plate in the center, forks on the left, knives on the right. 1 tablespoon on the right and dessert spoon on top of the plate. Water and wine glasses typically go on the top right corner of your dining setup, on top of the knives. Now the process. To keep things simple and straightforward, remember the golden rule. Outside in, meaning you start with the cutlery that's at the far end, away from your plate. And as the courses go by, you make your way inwards. अब अगर आप अंदर से शुरू करेंगे और सबसे बड़ा चम्मच स्टार्टर के लिए उठाएंगे, तो सबसे पहले you'll notice a gap between the plate and the rest of the cutlery. And also, that spoon or fork may be just too much for the starter's size or the portion. The smaller cutlery goes with starters and the bigger cutlery goes with your mains. The dessert spoons, not desert. Desert matlab Registan. Dessert matlab meetha. So the dessert spoons can either be brought later to the table or you may find them at the top of the plate already. First thing is first, place the napkin on your lap before you begin eating. Sometimes the servers or waiters might do that for you. When finished eating, you can leave it on the left side of the plate without folding it. Just like that, just bunch it up, but make sure that you do not highlight the messy part. There you go. That means I'm done. If you are still eating and have gone to the buffet to get a second helping, then leave it on the chair so the waiter knows that you're still eating. Just like that, bunched up on the chair. In many cases, they may fold it and put it on the side of your chair. Never ever blow your nose into the napkin. None of that, please. It's extremely rude. Use paper tissues for that purpose. Now, how to hold the fork and knife. As a standard rule, knife goes in the right hand and fork on the left. Simple logic being that cutting takes more effort, therefore the stronger hand gets the knife. Now many people are lefty, meaning left is their stronger hand. In that case, if you are more comfortable switching the cutlery, then by all means do that. The idea is to eat neatly and be socially acceptable. But mostly as a thumb rule, it's fork on the left and knife on the right. The index finger is on just the top of the blade of the knife, there, resting at the neck of the fork. The knife does most of the work and the fork just picks up the pieces together to form a nice neat bite. You can also use the knife to assist pushing the food bits towards the fork. The sharp pointy bits of a fork are called tines or prongs, so you give enough push so the food gets stuck to the tines of the fork. Basically, you have stabbed the food with the fork, else it keeps falling off the fork. उसको बस अच्छी तरह से टिका दीजिए. When you've finished eating, put your cutlery parallel to each other, either in the center or slightly angled. If you are taking a break, then place your cutlery in an inverted V format, just like that, with the tips touching each other and the bottom parts open like that, like a V, right in the center of your plate. But remember not to cross it. Do not ever leave your cutlery like that in the middle of your plate, because what will happen then is that the server or the waiter, when picking up your plate, will definitely make a mess. The cutlery will slip off your plate, and that's not something that you want to do in a restaurant full of all these posh people.
Spaghetti or noodles can often get messy to eat as they keep slipping off the fork each time you try and roll them. Fear not, here's a trick. When you start rolling the noodles, do it against your spoon, as that will provide the required support and neatness to your bite. Enjoy!
Firstly, remember you don't drink soup, you eat it. I understand that the soup consistency can lead to a lot of confusion. Liquid hai, to phir drinking makes more sense, right? No. Since you don't have it from a glass normally and instead there is a bowl and a spoon involved, you would take a bite each time, not a sip, as you would do with beverages. But I suppose if it's a shorba style starter in a glass at a wedding function, then I suppose one can drink it. But normally we eat soup. Now the art of eating soup, it's always a sideways and never from the top. So always sideways and never from the tip. And no slurp and no srr. And the same applies to all your hot beverages, coffee, tea, drinks. No noises, please. It's not nice to have that at a dinner table. Do not take a really full bite because that will make sure that everything spills and that's not what you want. So make sure it's 3/4 full. If it's too hot, then please wait. Don't blow so hard that it goes everywhere on the nice white tablecloth or staining the clothes of your guests. It's not nice etiquette to do that when having your soup. Wait for it to cool down, maybe engage in conversation if you have to, but don't go around blowing your soup. Unless you're in the comfort of your own home. By all means, go ahead and blow if you want, but in a professional setup, no blowing. Make sure when cutting your food item, you aren't so harsh that you start cutting the plate too, aimlessly, which makes an annoying screeching sound. That is very embarrassing in a restaurant setup. Now, this happened to me on my first day of university. I must share this with you. When I was just 17 years old, my first day in England, and the dinner lady gave me a pizza slice. I was used to just picking it up with my hand and eating it. But when I looked around, all other students were using cutlery. So I decided to do the same. But being the first day in excitement and nervousness, I was looking all around, trying to soak in my new environment. And next thing we heard was choo 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 choo, while someone at the other end of the table said, "Whose pizza is this?" And when I looked down, there was no pizza slice on my plate. It was embarrassing that my pizza literally flew, and that's how hard I must have cut it. And that was my mistake, but please learn from my mistake. Eyes on the prize, which means on your food, on your plate, on your cutlery, and make sure that you don't press so hard for it to make that sound of plate cutting, which goes like this. Annoying, isn't it? Stay away from it. Don't open your mouth and talk, please. It's irritating and off-putting. No one wants to see the contents of your plate half munched in your mouth. Similarly, when taking a bite, make sure your previous bite is well swallowed and your mouth is empty. Do not stick your tongue out while putting food in your mouth. अक्सर इंडियन खाने में ऐसा बहुत बार होता है, रोटी खाते खाते अगली बुर्की डालने से पहले जीभ बाहर आ जाती है. That's not right, not etiquette. Similarly, when having water, learn to sip, not slurp. Now, sip is sophisticated when your lips are lightly parted enough for the liquid to go in. A slurp is a loud, annoying sound alongside that is far away from any mannerism, so stay away from that. What's absolutely disgusting is to see someone's teeth and tongue through the glass base while they are gulping their water down. It can be cringe-worthy for the person you're eating with, so refrain from doing that, please. Also, when reaching out for your glass, please wipe your hands, especially after an Indian curry, or else all your stains are going to be all over your glass, and that's also not very nice. What? खाना इतना अच्छा था कि हम उंगलियां चाट गए. ये सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, देखने में नहीं. Licking fingers or your plate is a big no-no. So is licking the knife. It's also dangerous as you might scrape your tongue with it. So, no plate or hath chatna, please. That's it from me in this quick session, but if you have any specific questions or are attending a formal event, please do leave your questions in the comment section below and I shall answer them ASAP. If you like what you see, then please do subscribe to Superbility as it aims to hone your presentation and communication skills. Also, check out other videos in my playlist that could be of interest to you. Thanks for watching. See you next time with another dose of Superbility. Bye for now. Oh, and bon appetit, which is French for saying happy eating or literally put, have a good appetite. So people, enjoy your meals. Bon appetit!